Hi guys, Dr. Smart. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a great holiday with your family. I have spent today going through your results sections that you've sent me. That's why there's, like we said before, there's a little lag time sometimes putting up the next module because I need just a little bit to look at the assignments you've sent in. There's some of you that are still waiting to conference with me about your results, and that's fine. I tried to provide some extra time if we were not able to talk over the weekend, so hopefully that has been helpful. You guys are approaching the end of this course, and I think everyone's done excellent work. It's not easy to take a research course online. I much prefer to teach this face-to-face, and but I feel like you guys have done a wonderful job. So I want to talk to you about this week. If you're still waiting to conference with me about your results, we want to try to get those done probably by Tuesday or Wednesday, because you're going to have another assignment due next Sunday, so I don't want you to get too far behind. The focus this week is what I think is probably one of the most enjoyable parts of your research, and it's really trying to make sense of what you've done. Taking the data that you've analyzed now, put into results form, and really having your own take of this data. This is the part where you get to really have an opinion to express how you really feel about the results you got. Okay, did they surprise you? Were they consistent with the literature that you reviewed for this topic? Were there things that were unexpected? The section of the paper that you're going to be working on drafting for this week is the discussion section. And so as you're doing that, I want to give you some guiding principles to really understanding your research. The number one goal for me, for you guys for the class, is to understand how your results apply to education. There is a lot of talk in education about the gap between theory and practice, the gap between what we would do as researchers and then what would actually affect teachers in the classroom. So your goal in the next section of the paper that you're writing is to not only discuss your results, go a level deeper than just reporting them, which is what you did in the results, and talk about why you think some of the results came out like they did. You know, why did one group perform better? Why did you come up with some of the themes you did in your qualitative study? So really, why is what should guide the very first area of your discussion. You're going to have a header, I'll go ahead and direct you back to the template that's online for the research paper. You're going to have a header that says discussion. In the next couple paragraphs right under discussion, I want you to focus on discussing your results, okay? Talk about the results. You're really rephrasing in many ways. Rephrase what you found, okay? You want to rephrase the main findings from your study. There may be one or two. That's usually typical. And then follow that with a why, okay? What factors do you think contributed to the results that you had? Do you think that it would have been different if you had conducted your study at a different part of the year with a different demographic? Really get in there and talk about your results. Why do you feel like you got the results that you did? I want to see that you can discuss your results in a way that makes sense, that you can describe them in common language. And you're going to have two little subsections in your discussion. So after you get done with really restating your key points, discussing those, just giving an explanation from your own point of view about your results, you're going to have two main subsections. The first is going to be applications, okay? This will be implications for practice, okay? This is a section where I want you to take your results and I want you to actually come up with 2 or 3, is usually a pretty good number, 2 or 3 applications. Why is this important for teachers, administrators, educators? How could you take the results that you got in your study and actually come up with applications, implications? Okay, it's kind of answering the so what question. Why does this research matter? What could your research add to questions we have in education, teacher practices, administrative practices, whatever your area of focus was, how do you take that data, the results that you wrote up in your last section, and apply it very pragmatically to the classroom? You may be applying it to your own classroom, so implications for yourself. You may have implications for your school, for teachers in general. With the kind of data that you collected, we want to be careful about making statements like that are very broad, okay? You can't take small data sets like you guys have done for this class and generalize and say, oh, because of this, all students should do this, or all students. All you can make are claims for the demographic that you researched, okay? You can say things like, the data suggest that teachers may want to consider doing X, Y, Z. Try not to make huge claims like, our data prove that students should. You don't have enough data to make those kind of claims. So let's keep it very realistic, because these are small pilot studies. So that's your first subsection. Your second subsection is called limitations. You want to think about the kind of things that you encountered when you were doing your study that could have influenced the results, okay? It could be the time of day you had to give your survey. Could be there was a fire alarm in the middle of the intervention you were trying to do with your students. It could be things about problems you encountered when you were doing your research. It could be that you didn't get to sample as many students as you hoped. Anything that would have influenced the results of your study, that's what we want to focus on. So your job this week is to draft your discussion section. And if you have been keeping up well with all of your sections, which it looks like you have, you pretty much have a draft of your paper at this point. Next week we are going to organize, trying to share some of these results together. You're going to have a chance to kind of really edit your paper and get it in a good form, since that is your final product for this class. I will also be providing you the rubric for your paper by next week, so that you can, I want you to focus on the drafting part. There's a reason I don't give you that up front, because I really want you drafting your paper without specific categories in mind. Next week, whenever you're editing your paper, once you have a full draft, the rubric will help you go back and fill in some of the blanks you may have. But this week I want you focused just on drafting, taking your ideas, getting them on paper, and trying to stay focused on really making sense of the results of your study, okay? Please contact me if you have any questions, need any help, and hope you have a great week. Goodbye.